What up? What up? Y'all already know what it is. It's Tuesday night. Well, we taping it Tuesday night, but this the Uncommon Sense show, man. We're gonna have a good time tonight, Jack. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be good. So let me go ahead and shit, I should have did this. Let me go ahead and send this link out, and we're gonna get the ball rolling up around here. You dig it? Shit. I wanted to play some music. I'll get to that on the second taping or the third, because shit, I'm just now getting upstairs. So I've been a little off, a couple minutes off as usual. Fashionably late, you know. Yeah, man. I don't know what direction we're going in tonight, but I know it's gonna be funny, and I know it's gonna be a good one. Now, what the fuck did I just do? God damn it. Okay, there we go. That's what I need right here. I'm gonna put this in for Mika. Ain't seen Mika in a while. Hopefully we can get everybody in here, Johnny and everybody else would be dope. We'll just put the link out and see what goes down. We'll usually be a couple minutes late, but right on time. And oh shit, I'll be forgetting to send this to John. Send it to him here. And send it to him here. You know, I might play some music anyway. Just cause. Let me see if I can get something cooking. All right. Why not play some records? The intro music. Doesn't hurt. I don't know. I've been filling that up. What's going on here? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. What's going on?
What's happening?
Nothing much, man. I don't know if I got fired or what today. I'm confused.
What?
I swear to God. So I turned in my 2 weeks, my notice Saturday, because I work Saturday.
Okay.
I went in late yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I was going in late yesterday, and she called me and was like, "We got a low volume, so don't come in." Okay, cool. Now I didn't know because for one, I refused to work 12-hour shifts anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'd do 11 to 7. I didn't know before I got there. She had sent me a note saying, text saying we pretty much canceled the rest of your shifts. I was like, well, shit, you could have called and told me that and saved me some damn gas.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, today my last day then. Bye.
Well, you didn't get termed because you put in a 2-week notice.
I don't know, man.
You should be good. What's up, Alicia?
Hey, y'all.
What's good, Alicia?
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. I'm groovy. How are y'all?
Oh, shit. There you go. R. Kelly
good.
washing his hair. You know what? I got to put up a stupid...
Eddie joined us.
Who is Eddie?
It's the 6 Heartbeat.
Oh, what up, Square? What's going on?
What it is. All the rest of that good
Johnny! What's going on, Johnny? You see, I threw down the fork. Vice Lord's up in this joint. Let me stop.
all that. To the world blow up.
To the world blow up.
Yep.
Right on.
What's going on? What's going on?
Huh?
What the hell is going on with what is in your backdrop?
Yeah.
That's R. Kelly shampooing Juicy's hair.
Yeah.
I forgot. I gotta put up my
that's
my
going
stupid
down.
my stupid. Well, he out, so
he out.
Go
figure,
he
right? Is. I love bitch ass nigga. Yeah,
this motherfucker
I do
did.
Need to change it since he out. I do need to change my
No. It's still happening. It just ain't R. Kelly.
This motherfucker did 5 hours and got out. Ain't this some shit?
5 hours.
That's yeah.
5 hours and got out. All that riffraff for nothing.
Y'all knew that was gonna happen.
No, I
Y'all
didn't
had thought
know.
that was
No,
gonna
they
happen.
wasn't
I really
finna
didn't
let him.
expect it.
I thought he was gonna do 75 days.
I
They
really
said,
didn't
Yeah.
expect he was
I
gonna
don't
get
know
out.
Never in the
why.
life.
I thought
Never
his
in the
little life
life.
ass was gonna do every bit of those. What they give him 3 months, whatever months. I
It
thought he
was-
was gonna do all that.
that's what I thought. You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
thought wrong.
Because at first I heard they couldn't appeal it. Then I heard they was gonna appeal it. Then the next day, this motherfucker out.
When this motherfucker started talking about when he started raising his hand, talking about some I'm not suicidal,
Right.
It's
and
like,
I'm
oh,
innocent.
bullshit.
I just knew that judge was like, oh, you innocent nigga? Okay. Sit your innocent ass in that jail and think about this.
Straight up. I thought he was gonna hit his ass off with some serious joints, man. I
I
thought
don't
for
know
sure
why.
he was gonna
When
be
his
selling-
white, I knew that he wasn't gonna do that time. Honestly, when his white grandmama got up there talking about some, if you put him in jail, put me in right next to him. First of all, they would still rape him before they raped your old ass.
They
So
should have
sit down.
nominated her. They should have threw her ass in jail too.
Yeah. And she been like, I believe it. Look, a couple of days, I believe that motherfucker did it.
So look, so that was, they said his grandmother was, Jewish ancestry. So that was his grandmother was Jewish.
Yeah, I heard that they was French. I don't know.
Fuck up out of here.
I'm gonna say this
You
nigga.
look far enough into anybody's timeline, you gonna find the white motherfucker that you fuck with that shit.
Right.
If anything, if they want to play that card, then that just makes it a backwards hate crime. How do you do that? If there's a nigga committing a hate crime, what do you call that?
Because it was the
What they
LGBT
say?
shit. He had
Moses
the LGBT
In
card,
reverse.
he had the black card, and then he had the Jew card.
That nigga
Okay.
played light skin card. That
And
was light
then,
skin.
and
shit. I
then
don't
wait,
know.
then he had to what else? The race card. I guess we go with the race card. 'Cause it's supposed to-
That's why he threw up that-
famous people card.
right.
Hey,
So-
I know. Look, I know I'm finna get in trouble for this, but he had that fist like this. But we all know he probably wanted it like this.
That nigga said, hey, he said he done gave Tupac.
Straight up.
Shit.
This
Round
nigga,
and round we go.
why he just
What's
can't
up,
be
love? How you
comedian,
doing?
man? What's up? This nigga, they done went through all this shit, spent all this money, used all these resources just to let this nigga out after they let him out the first time, brought him back.
That's
to court,
pending
tried
his
him
repeal.
again, and then let him out again. What kind of shit is this?
How much y'all want to wager on a suicide attempt?
From who?
Him?
For what?
Wait, he gonna
Suicide
suicide himself or he gonna pay somebody to do it?
Shit, it might work better if he do it himself because he got Dumb and Dumber Okwade, you know what I'm saying, to do the shit and they fucked it up. Sorry, Alicia, that's the only African last name I can think of at the moment. I used to
I
like
ain't
the
even say
Okwade.
nothing. I go ahead and let you have it.
This nigga here, man, he, I mean, because it was stupid, but they kept it in the media like it meant some shit.
This is by far one of the dumbest crimes ever committed.
And it wasn't even a crime. It was an alleged crime that he was found not guilty of.
It was
No,
a
he was found
dumbass
guilty.
alleged crime.
No, you sound guilty.
Like-
They just let him out.
Like in the broad spectrum of crimes, alleged crimes or not, this was the dumbest shit. And they chose to use our money to prosecute this shit. They chose violence with this shit. It was stupid. And then let him out. Like y'all
And let
charge him and
him out.
then let him out. Like y'all should just left his ass alone.
I
Let
thought
this
for
be a
sure.
lesson. Let this be a lesson, a little slap on the wrist, you know.
It wasn't, but
I'm
again,
over it all.
they wasted. I know, but they wasted more of wasted more of the Chicago's resources.
That's why he
fooling
had to
with him
pay
than they needed to.
$130,000 back.
Hey, y'all think if I go tell the white people that some white boys in the pickup van choked me with some bleach and tried to
They
rape my
ain't
butt?
gonna care. They ain't gonna
They
care.
ain't
They
care?
ain't gonna care.
I
I'm
ain't
sorry,
light-skinned
Johnny,
like
but
that.
you
I ain't
full. Look,
light-skinned.
you full nigga. They don't care.
They gonna want to know what
Hey,
you what
Tanara,
your
we need
black
you to
ass
take
was
one for
doing
the
over
team.
there in the first place. They gonna want to know why you was
Right.
over there fooling with the white
You
folks
must
in the
have been
first
trying
place.
to rob the place. That's what they
Subway.
gonna
I
say.
wanted some Subway. Eat that.
What, they ain't got no subways in the hood? I'm just
Right.
telling you this.
That motherfucker, he started all this shit, and it
But
turned.
since we took, look,
bullshit.
we talking about shit that outraged me. Well, I ain't gonna even say it outraged me. It just made me say, okay. Y'all see that the HBCU put 50 slots up for Ukraine students, right?
Why?
That's
Wait. For black students stuck in Ukraine,
No, for
for
Ukraine students,
Ukraine students.
free college tuition for Ukraine students.
The
50
Africans in
slots.
Ukraine, or is it anybody in Ukraine?
Ukrainians.
Well, there's no
Okay.
Africans in Ukraine. Like they're there for a reason, but they don't. I guess they don't have any black folks in Ukraine. Not the way they acted.
that's how they get.
Students over there, right?
Well, but I'm saying when I say no blacks in Ukraine, I don't think they have any like black Ukrainian citizens.
Yeah.
Right. So they migrated from somewhere else. I get that, but they're
Right.
actually
Yeah.
in Ukraine going to school.
No, for them to come, I guess to come to the HBCUs and go there for free.
No. I'm
Yeah,
saying
because
that
I mean they won't even let the Africans cross the border. You think they're gonna let them get on a plane and come get some free education?
Oh, well, you got a point there.
Tell y'all something.
Like, come on now, we know what that's about.
These motherfucking HBCUs have been killing each other to stand in line to suck off the dick of the United States government to get some of that good old fashioned grant money. And they will suck any dick that they need to.
You
So
hear me?
HBCU
Historical Black Coon University. That's what that is.
But
Yeah,
they're not funded by black folks. I mean, so
No.
it's just got a title on it, to give the illusion that black folks is contributing, and they're not. That's what School Days was about. School Days was talking about that. This was in the
And that's true. That's true. A lot of these black people that have money do not contribute to these HBCUs like these white folks do, like the alum do. They don't, which is why there's been HBCUs that actually had to close because they don't have the funding.
Mhm.
So while people are talking shit, like I think that they bullshit for having these slots for the Ukrainians, but how do you complain? How do you talk shit when you're not helping? Like you don't say. There's a lot of black folks that don't send their kids to HBCUs. Both of my children went to HBCUs. That was a requirement for at least the first 4 years. You have to go to a HBCU. They don't put money into HBCUs. They don't promote the HBCUs, not like they should. So you're complaining about them holding slots, but essentially the HBCUs wouldn't even have to ask for fucking money if the people with the black folks with money would actually put their funding behind it. You wouldn't even need it.
These millionaires.
Good point. You got a point.
Like you can't have it both ways. You can't not support them and then shit on them when they make a decision, because we don't know why they made that decision. We don't know what kind of funding they may get to benefit the students that actually the black students that go there behind them funding those slots. Like we don't know. But the reality of it is we know that people that have money, these stars and everything else, like very few, like Bill Cosby was one of the biggest ones that put into HBCUs. But you have so many people that have money that are not funding them that you really can't complain about. That's like me complaining about some bullshit that I'm not doing nothing about. Like if I'm not supporting them, how am I complaining about some shit that they're doing? You can't.
That's right.
And now that you mention it, Trump administration gave them millions and millions of dollars.
Ain't that something? Yeah, I remember that.
He those are the words that he used, but it was he was taking money from one. He was like taking money from Peter to pay Paul. So he was taking money from like housing development and shit, and then giving it to the HBCU. So it looked good on paper, but then you start kicking niggas out of housing, and then it's like, wait, nigga, that don't fix the problem we was trying to. You caused more of an issue. Now you got smart niggas who homeless. That's what you got.
But I mean, but even when you talk about that, Joe John, how? Because if y'all that damn broke and that fucks with shit, how y'all send over all that money to Ukraine? Like how? Where y'all find that money at?
But see, that kind of ties in like with the with inflation, because you can print as much money as you want, it just lessens the value of it. So even though they didn't send all this money over there to Ukraine, it's still gonna hurt.
Value or not, value or not, it's money that still could have been used over here. It's homeless people, black and white. It's hungry kids, black and white. You know what I'm saying? It's uneducated kids here, black and white.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about HBCUs or we talking about the government now?
We're talking about the Ukraine, the money that they sent over. Yeah.
Oh man, fuck this government. Let me tell you something. No. This country went through this goddamn motherfucking pandemic. Well, the world went through this goddamn pandemic, and we didn't send motherfucker. They gave us. What they give us, like 3,500, 45? Let's call it 5,000. Altogether, $5,000. Maybe you got a little bit more. You got more kids, something like that. $5,000 a piece. They gave these motherfucking Ukrainians money. What the fuck has Ukraine ever did for us? Not now, nothing. White people being white and helping other white people. Fuck those white people.
It ain't even got shit to do with that. It don't even got shit to do with that. What it is, and this is the truth. For one, Ukraine has a lot of natural resources.
Fuck those resources.
You know, whenever It's somewhere that got some natural resources like oil and the shit they use to make up the damn cell phones. That's the motherfuckers that need some freedom.
Let me tell y'all something. I can't stand that shit. Because when it comes to these motherfuckers,
Right.
this is one of the reasons I can't stand about this goddamn country. So first of all, United States and Britain, it's fucking colonizers. That's what the fuck shit comes from. They're the originators of the goddamn shit. Okay, cool, whatever. If you're gonna colonize, fucking colonize. If you're gonna go to Iraq and Kuwait and take over their shit and steal the resources, goddamn it, steal the resources. Why the fuck is our gas this goddamn high? No, nigga, we invaded your country. Your shit is now our shit. Our gas is 25 cents a goddamn gallon. That's what the fuck it is. Deal with it. Come kick our ass. I don't understand what if we gonna bully people, fucking be a bully.
John, but before you get your pressure up, let's remember
Okay, because
that.
I'm about to die.
That's right. Down. We don't want you to have a stroke, but remember that we're not at war with anybody. Like we ain't touching nothing. And the oil that we have gotten, we've already paid for. So there's no reason for our gas prices to go up. Because if you look at it, we don't have a dog in the fight. We ain't sending no soldiers over there. We not doing shit. So our gas prices really shouldn't be up.
It's the oil companies.
They said they price hike.
The oil companies,
them folks in the Senate, the folks that sit on it, make all them damn decisions, they have stock and that they have some kind of stock or loyalty to those oil companies. So every time something break out, here we go with this bullshit again. Like we don't like, even when you talk about money, the money has no value at all. The money only has value because they say it has value. Because if you think about it, that's why they killed Gaddafi, because they were trying to set up an African bank, and the African bank
that would have made
the
dollar
by the natural resources. The United States don't have no natural resources to back their money. Like really, what are we backing our money with?
It's used to be gold.
Mexicans.
Yeah,
we don't shut up, John. We don't have anything. We really don't have any natural resource. We don't have that gold anymore. The gold is gone. Yeah. So they're fucking printing money and telling us what that money is worth, and eventually it's not going to be worth shit. Like they're gonna say it's not worth anything, but right now it's not worth anything. If you can send billions and trillions of dollars over to Ukraine, then why couldn't we get mortgage and rental assistance? Like that shit should have been. If you could find trillions, I'll do that. During COVID, that shit should have been suspended. Car payments should have been suspended. Gas, those essential things, they should have been suspended because people were unable to do a whole lot of shit. That didn't happen. But you sending this money over here, and you want us to pray for Ukraine while they telling black folks to look like everybody on this Zoom call that y'all can't leave. That y'all let white folks, their kids, and they fucking animals on trains to get out of there before y'all let us out of there. And you just send my money where to do what?
Mm-hmm.
How?
They snatched. Look, Jamaica had provided a bus for the Jamaicans that were over there.
They white folks in that.
They and put their dog snatch and put their goddamn dogs on there.
Wow.
And wouldn't let the black folks on that.
So, but it's like what you was just saying, Alicia, about cats on Wall Street. They have invested in stocks in natural resources. It's the same thing with the Pfizer vaccine and everything else, or you can go back to 9/11. I was hearing that, motherfuckers had insurance policy on the towers. So it's always about a dollar. But the way I look at it is like, okay, for them to go and send money over there and not do it here is because they can keep us enslaved here. They can keep us locked in with debt here. You see what I'm saying? So they always going to have power over us. It's too much to give everybody enough to live off of, compared to keeping everybody in debt and keeping everybody struggling and all this other stuff. They'll constantly be locked into the system to have to depend on the government for everything. You know what I'm saying? So
you really dependent on the government when they don't do shit? So what are we dependent on?
Well, they own the land.
We definitely dependent. I say we dependent because
we are dependent.
Not I'm not gonna say everybody, but there was a lot of people who needed that little $5,000 that the government was getting out. Now I'm saying it was straight up bullshit, but it was a bunch of people who literally needed it to well, I ain't talking about I'm gonna get some shoes now. Some people needed that shit to eat for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Straight up. And
I didn't get that child shit. I didn't get that because by the time they started doing that, David had reached that age. So they wasn't giving me shit.
Right. It's
I didn't get it either.
They give a lot of breaks to people who it seems like the people that don't work get more breaks than the people that do, and I think that's by design. And I grant that some people may actually need that assistance, but some don't. They abuse it. So that's another part of, I think, what I would compare it as divide and conquer. You know, because they could say, well, you know, Joe Blow over here, they don't work, they don't do shit, or they pick their own hours. They may work 10 hours a week, and they got a house. They got this.
But then
they
I
got
would have
that.
the argument I would have was half the motherfuckers that's sitting in Congress and Senate don't fucking work. And during the pandemic, these some bitches gave themselves raises.
They
So
sure
Yes, they did.
so
Yes, they
if
did.
we gonna talk
And
about
just
the
gave
poor
themselves
people,
another one.
the poor people or people that are like mid-level and kind of struggling, getting some extra shit and they really don't need it. Why the fuck did y'all, like my argument would be, why did you all, and they got a massive, they approved a massive
21%.
Raise for themselves. So we're not gonna talk about the folks that like the ones you were just talking about. Let's talk about the motherfuckers in Congress, because y'all didn't
That's
need
welfare.
one. Y'all not even at work most of the time. You niggas got mad and stopped, like y'all decided y'all wasn't gonna even come and vote. Like they're not serving us in no kind of way. So how do you get a raise? And why are we talking about poor people that may or may not need it for whatever reason? Why are we not talking about these sons of bitches that got 2 and 3 houses, they give themselves raises during the pandemic, and they only giving people that's unemployed $300 extra fucking dollars, or people you gotta fight for food stamps. If you get a $2,000 a month, you can't qualify for food stamps, because even though you got a mortgage and a damn car note, because all of those are luxuries. So you have to choose between eating and paying the mortgage. But again, you sons of bitches are in Washington approving fucking high ass raises that you all don't fucking deserve, because none of them are actually serving us.
No,
And I'll be solved if we start killing white people. That's the answer to all of our questions. The death of white people.
Look, every time you say that, I'm starting to agree more and more. Shit.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I think
because look, them motherfuckers. Look, let me tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you about my adventures in TikTok land. I done been blocked like 3 times.
yeah.
These tight white motherfuckers go on my page and start reporting shit from like a month ago saying I'm bullying them. Now the biggest thing lately been because I said white. First of all, I stitched a video that said a white woman talking about how white people ain't got no culture. When I tell you this man been in the comments fighting for his life for 3 days, I said, he was like, we do got there is such thing as white culture. I said, white American culture? Yeah, name some.
Right.
This nigga named all genres of movies, Cajun food.
Cajun.
Yeah. Christmas.
Okay, I get
all
that.
of this shit can be debunked. No, you can't give them that. How the fuck can you give them that?
You can give
Christmas was all over in
But that's
France
not
and
Christian.
Egypt and Germany and shit
That's
like
not
that.
culture though. But Christianity is not a culture.
Oh,
They
and
like
then on
it
top
to
of
me.
that, I had he said he was a Yale educated in physics, but this nigga said that European food was a white American culture. Well, I gotta turn my camera on for this shit right here. And I'm like, nigga, it got European in its name.
White American.
I don't get
I'm
that.
trying to
You know,
understand.
then when I
that's-
broke down
that's-
Cajun food,
That's unseasoned food, y'all. That's what European. That's unseasoned food.
you right. You right.
Chicken.
Actually, you right, because remember all of this shit, like Columbus actually left to go find
Looking for
spices and
spices.
shit.
They
Now
didn't
then
know how to use the spices anyway when they was looking for them. They just know that they needed some.
because only
No,
rich people could afford spices.
Tell it.
Listen, at that time, only rich people could afford spices. So when poor people started seasoning up their food, they stopped seasoning their food because it was considered poor. Look it up, y'all. I'm telling you, the shit is real. So y'all,
let me tell y'all this before I forget. Let me tell y'all this before I forget, because y'all know I got a weed mind. Did y'all know that people with blue eyes it's somewhere in their lineage has been incest?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Incest.
Yeah.
You all know that. I just
Yes.
found that out. It's a scientific fact that if anybody with blue eyes, they have ancestral DNA in their family.
How does
Not
that
to
they're
mention
all
Neanderthal. Let's not
Anybody
mention
with blue eyes,
Neanderthal.
they're all related. That shit is sick. Like it's
Yeah.
Why
I'm
not
sorry.
green or brown?
Because
So they
blue
say
is a mutation. It's a recessive mutation.
And because the DNA is in incest in the family, it it diluted the brown because brown is a dominant. It diluted the brown and turned the brown into blue. So they say that it's because of incest and that everybody with blue eyes is somehow related.
Okay, so
That's true.
it's black folks that got blue eyes. Them, what's them cats over there?
The Melanesians. I know who you're talking about.
They got blue
It's
eyes.
black people in fucking
It's
in
still
Louisiana.
we still talking
It's
about
still
the
a
same thing. They
recessive
say
gene.
that it's still a recessive gene. So it's still ancestral.
That's some shit.
I thought it was too. I was like, damn.
Y'all want some shit that y'all want to see some freaky shit?
I don't know.
Look up the Habsburgs.
I don't know.
No,
Wait, what'd you say? Yeah, what'd you say?
look up the Habsburgs. You should do it now.
Hold on. I can
These
do it right now.
motherfuckers
Spell
was
it.
so HAPSBURG. These motherfuckers is like the ones that most of the British royalty and the European royalty come from.
This
These
ain't gonna
motherfuckers
add
are
them
the
to no like
Jews.
fucking police watch list, is it?
nah.
Okay.
These guys, look, they inbred one of these kings so much. This motherfucker didn't learn to walk until he was 8 years old. His balls was shriveled and black. He couldn't have kids. He couldn't talk. He couldn't stop drooling. He couldn't stop drooling. And you know how they would make them marry them and not even know him. When his wife saw him, she cried and was scared of him.
That sound about right. That sound about white.
But this is what they do to try to keep, the bloodlines pure.
Yeah, well, that's just like what's the name? Them look alike. Well, they all related, but Queen Elizabeth and them motherfuckers.
That's who they descend from, the people I'm telling you about.
Oh, okay, well, it makes sense.
The only thing that saved Queen Elizabeth was that black queen, Queen Charlotte, which was her great grandmother or her great grandmother.
And they
Great
probably
grandmother.
Yeah.
It
That's the
says
only
They
thing.
ain't far removed.
Why you think
They-
they let Meghan get into the family? They need to for one, to be royal, British royalty. My understanding is you got to have some black. And if you look at a lot of their old coat of arms, it's Moors on there.
Go figure. I mean, Moors was like, we should do a fucking show on the Moors.
Yeah,
Because
more
Can we
civilized they
do a
fuck
show
asses.
on
Yeah, but-
ways and means of killing white people?
But what's really bad is Moors enslaved black folks too. So,
But you know what? This is the thing. You have to understand there was no black people during those times.
okay,
They were different tribes. They were different. Like it wasn't the same. Like you might have been Fulani. I might have been Mendinke or something like that. We were not black. We were two different people, two different, not two different species, but we're two different groups. Color was not an issue. We were not black until white people said we were.
right.
Enslavement also meant something different. They weren't raping men and raping women and making the enslaved. Like when people use that argument, is as if to negate what that was a fucking slavery, and what the white people did to us was the biggest fucking atrocity that was not televised or recorded. Like the difference between what the Moors and what other Africans was doing, that the word slavery, it sounds brutal, but it wasn't the same kind of thing. You were able to work your way. You could live outside of the where the tribe lived. Like it was so different. They weren't fucking the men trying to break them. They weren't hobbling. It wasn't that kind of thing. So when we talk about what they did, it's totally different than what these white motherfuckers did to our ancestors, which was fucking the worst atrocity that was ever done to any people on the planet.
So it's more like an indentured servant type of deal.
Yeah, that's exactly
and
what
some
it
of
was.
them became like prisoners of war. So you had prisoners of war, and they were able, they served their time and then they were gone. That's not what happened when they came, and they didn't steal people. White folks came over here and essentially stole us.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get a lady straight in my damn comments because she was telling me, well, what about your people? Black people sold black people into slavery. I said, but who told your motherfucking ancestors to buy them? Not only did you stop buying them, you just came over and started kidnapping them.
And fucking them in the ass.
Ew.
And then forcing them to have sex
eating
with their kids, with their own kids. See, it's a lot of shit they don't, quit Chloe. There's a lot of stuff that they don't talk about.
And they were eating us as well. Like they were boiling us in fucking pots and eating us. And then had the nerve to switch the narrative and call black folks savages and goddamn cannibals.
Well, that's when you put stuff out like that, that's the mental enslavement. When you're no longer in bondage, you have to.
And I swear to God, I hate when I hear another black person say that stupid shit. You don't know your own fucking history, and you letting somebody else tell you what the fucking deal is. Like, nigga, have a couple of seats.
I'm just listening.
Several fucking seats.
Nah, I'm just saying. No, but that's what that is. It's still enslavement nonetheless. But it's like, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying that they got to have some system in place to.
But when you say stuff like that, that's just like when we talk about the killings, the murders that go on with black folks and somebody, and you good for that. Well, what about black on black crime? Well, first of all, because Kennard does say that, and because hey, there's no such thing as black on black crime. There's proximal crime. But when we talk about crime, and white folks kill white folks more than anybody else, Mexicans kill Mexicans more than anybody else, Asians kill Asians, but you never hear, when you hear things on the news, you never hear white on white crime. You never hear Asian on Asian crime. But every time you turn on that motherfucking news, it's talking about black on black crime, which is gaslighting people. And then when we talk about the murder of anybody that's being murdered by the cops, you hear so many people say, well, what about black on black crime? Motherfucker.
It's not.
It's a white supremacy.
It's not.
It's a white supremacy talking point. That's what it is.
It is, and it takes away from what I'm talking. If I'm talking about Kennard being harmed by somebody, even if my people are killing each other, we can take care of that. But what we not gonna do, to me, it's like this: if my kid do something in the house, and I catch him doing some shit, and I'm getting on him, and he say, "Well, such and such is doing such and such,"
it's the same thing.
I don't care about. I caught you doing this, and we gonna address that. I can take care of this later, but what we not about to do, we not about to discuss what your sister or your brothers are doing in here, because I'm talking about the shit I just caught you doing, and that's what we gonna deal with. And that's kind of it. It takes away so much when we're talking about the things that are going on in our community when we start using those talking points, because you can have both. We can talk about why violence is prevalent in our community, but we're not going to talk about violence that's prevalent in our community and equate that to why we justify cops killing us. That don't justify the fact that you murdering somebody.
No, I'm not trying to. I don't cut you off, but I'm not trying to justify cops killing black people.
I'm not saying that you're trying to justify it, but when people use that talking point, if you think about it, if we're talking about somebody being murdered by the cops and somebody say, well, black people killing black people, what about black on black crime? That now you're shifting the narrative to talk about black on black crime. That's not what we're talking about. And so you have this debate where people are arguing about black on black crime as opposed to the murder, but the issue is really the fucking murder right now. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're trying to solve. And so you take away from that, and you may not be trying to say that that's a reason, but I've been in arguments with folks that say, well, why the fuck should y'all care? Y'all don't care about each other killing each other, and people feel like that. Why? And especially white folks. White folks feel like that. Well, y'all, why the fuck y'all so mad? That doesn't mean that I'm okay with you murdering somebody. And I'm not out here killing nobody, nor is my son, nor is my people. And even if that's the case, we deal with shit in our house. We deal with it in our house. Exactly. But when it's outside of our house, motherfucker, we still coming at you. Now we can talk to each other about how we need to fix some shit, because there's some shit that needs to be fixed. But what we're not gonna do is act like the shit that's going on in our communities. First of all, white folks put it there. Like, well, the murder, the drugs, all that shit is because white folks flooded the drugs and all that kind of shit in. And when you think about how we try to do positive shit, I don't care what you say, Kennard, because you can grin or whatever. But when you think about the black, when you think about, I'm gonna give you one example. Black Panthers, when they was doing as much as they were doing, they had to have somebody infiltrate them. When you look at old gay ass, what's his name? The FBI. What's his name? The gay guy.
Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover.
Hoover, thank you. Yeah. Hoover, when you look at his he had a whole list of people that were considered threats. And all of them were fucking black. And the black people that he considered threats were black folks that were trying to uplift the race, trying to do something, trying to actually separate and do something better and different. And he labeled them all as goddamn problems. And so what he did was he started infiltrating and killing them. And if you look at Malcolm, Martin, Black Panther, Huey Newton, and then after the Black Panthers, what did they do? They flooded our shit with drugs, and they weren't even concerned with the shit until it started overflowing into white neighborhoods, and that's when we got all this other bullshit. The war on drugs was just for Reagan to push that shit into our communities for no other reason. So we have our problems, but when we talk about the atrocities that were committed against us, it bothers me to talk about anybody else committing those things, because what those white folks did to us, it still impacts us today. Exactly. Still, we don't even know where we came from. We don't know what language we speak. We don't know what traditions we have. We don't know what customs we know nothing about we're the only people that have no fucking idea who we are. None.
J. Edgar Hoover said the most dangerous thing to America was black unity, and he pressed that shit.
Mhm.
He
With his
pressed that
gay
shit
ass.
to between him and Nixon. They fucked up everything because Nixon is actually the true. Well, like one of the original motherfuckers who was flooding it with flooding the black neighborhoods and shit with drugs.
Mhm.
And one of his agents actually admitted it. He said, "Do we know that this shit was wrong?" Yes.
Oliver North.
Not Oliver North. His name was something Eichner.
I remember Oliver North though.
Oh,
I
I don't know.
remember that was the Contra affairs, wasn't it?
Yep.
I
I do
remember
not
that.
recall. I do
I
not
remember that.
recall. That was his
Right.
answer to
I do not
everything.
recall.
I do not recall.
I be tripping on. It's like, I be looking at it like I'm not shitting on what y'all say, but what I'm saying is we just got to be talking about drug epidemic in the 80s and all this. And then, whatever these motherfuckers put out there, niggas love to go and pick up and play with. We can't wait for them to come and drop some shit off. We don't give a fuck what it is. We're going to indulge in it. Not all of us, but enough of us to where it'll create a problem. But then, like what you said earlier, as far as the atrocities and everything with slavery and all this, it's fucked up. No doubt. But to me, to add insult to injury is that you got that element out there, and then now you got your own neighborhood, people in your own neighborhood that's looking to bust you up the head or break up in your crib or take your car, or the one lady that just got shot over there. She got shot up by two niggas. They was like 18 and the other one was like, one was like, 17, the other one was 21. They took a shot this lady up trying to take her car. That's the shit that fucks with me. Because I ain't talking about reaching back 400 years. I'm talking about today. What's happening
But
right
you
now?
have to understand that this is all like a trickle down effect from that.
Well, then why I ain't
You-
out there carjacking? Why you ain't out there carjacking? Tamika was just on here talking about what happened to her.
Okay.
It could be a trickle down effect, but it doesn't make it right. It's no excuse for it. But this is what we dealing with on top of that. And this is even more close to home. Now you can go into the whole government and all this. A lot of us don't even interact with white motherfuckers. Straight up.
What
Yeah,
happened?
how?
What happened?
How?
What happened
How are you
to
not? How are you
what
not
happened to
interacting with
Washburn?
white folks?
What happened to
How?
Washburn?
Directly.
What happened to Washburn Trade School? Does anybody remember? That big one that was right there on 31st and Kidsy. What happened to it?
I don't know nothing about it.
I'm from the east side.
Okay, so it used
The
to be a whole
Mexicans
bunch
did
of
some bullshit.
no, it used to be a
Okay.
whole bunch of trade schools and shit that kids can go to and get trades and stuff. All that shit is dried up. All that shit is gone. Even the vocation shit that you would get certificates for in high school is dried up. Now, it's a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons they started closing up and monetizing a lot of them trade schools is because if we had our own money, we can fund our own Black programs. We can pour money into the Panthers. We can pour money into, just an example, for the MOVE movement and shit like that. So they started drying up the shit. So they drying up the resources to better yourself. Then you got all these different options, drugs and shit like that. And some people can say, okay, I want more because, and I say this all the time, not everybody is aware of their options.
And even the options are like ugly now too. Because I remember like going to college freshman year, you could get your freshman year paid for. My son and my daughter went to college. Man, they don't cover. I literally had to work a second job to pay my daughter's her dorm for like I had to spend like $12,000 a semester extra because freshman year they wouldn't pay. No, I'm sorry, I paid more than that freshman year. I paid damn near 20-something thousand for her freshman year. Sophomore year, I had to pay $12,000 every semester to cover the shit the financial aid doesn't pay. And just, I was pissed off that I had to do it, but I had a career. I had a job where I could just go in and work a few days a week and be able to pay that in less than 2 months. But there's not, people don't have that option. And I had 2 kids in college. So you think about, and that doesn't excuse carjacking. Like it doesn't excuse that. It doesn't excuse the bad behavior. I will say that when people are impoverished and people are desperate people do desperate shit.
Yeah.
And I also think that part of the problem is what I've always said is that you have a lack of fucking parental um control. Like nobody's really parenting these kids. These kids are being fucking left alone in these televisions to watch TV, to watch what life is. That's how they're learning life. That's how they're learning everything. You hear people talking about, I'm going to get that bag. All I care about was the bag. Well, now you produce kids that, motherfucker, that's all they want to do is get the bag because that's what they've been taught. That's what's important is to get that bag by any means necessary. You got people my age and older getting BBLs on Facebook, on TikTok, showing their ass. Like, I'm damn near 50 years old. Why are you showing your ass like you're fucking 20 years old, but you want their child to behave or understand that that's not appropriate when everything in their situation and their environment is showing them that, well, fucking anything go. Anything go as long as I get money. And that's what they're
We had
being
to call
taught.
the
That's all you
police on
hear.
the lady today. We had to literally call the police on the woman today.
Mm.
She came in there already with an attitude. She got into it with the security guard because the security guard couldn't tell her how long the wait was going to be.
Well, he should
So
have been
then,
able to tell her.
no, we don't tell. I mean, we
Joking,
can't
Abney.
do that, you know. But you know how Mouse Square is. So anyhow, she barking at everybody, got an attitude. I'm the one to register her. She wouldn't even stand up. She wouldn't even sit down. I'm already having a bad day. I got off work at 7:00. Little dumbass girl done put Play-Doh in both her ears. Okay. But the more I was around her mama, the more I understand. She didn't want to hear that shit. So, I mean, it got so bad, and she yelled and cussed at that little girl all while she was in the waiting room.
But you know what? That's why. But a lot of people, unfortunately, they think that all that hollering and shit gets them to what they want. If I holler enough, I make enough noise, or I act out enough, people are gonna do what I need them to do. And you've seen it in Mile Square. They come back there and get them and pacify them and get whatever they want. But you done acted a whole fool, so that's what you get. Folk to act a motherfucking fool because they get what they want.
What color
Remember
was
that big fat? She was black, but we ain't finna go on that. Alicia, remember that big?
You knew
fat,
what color what she was.
I knew that was a rhetorical question.
It was this big fat black ass woman. I mean, every time you saw her, she had on this nasty ass navy blue t-shirt, and her hair was all over her head all the time. She used to come to the main, Alicia. Anytime she came in there, no matter how nice we were, no matter how much, how we accommodated her, this bitch would always act a fool so she can go upstairs so Mr. Taylor can give her McDonald dollars. Do you remember that?
Yeah. But you know what? The fucked up part about that is we see that part of her, but we don't know what her situation was like at home. Like, you don't even know if the woman was even eating at home. And while it does not excuse her behavior, like, we have to look at the condition of our people and understand that some people, she may didn't have enough money to eat. Maybe she fed her kids and she just couldn't eat. Like,
that
shit
bitch
is
wasn't
just
missing
fucked
no
up.
meals. Come on,
I'm
now.
gonna
I'm just saying, but you don't.
Look, that was a
Listen a
motherfucking
minute,
3X
y'all.
shirt fitting tight. That bitch wasn't
I'm just
hungry.
saying, but I seen fat people. In the United States, that obese people are still malnourished. They're
Yeah.
malnourished because of the bullshit that they eat that has no nutritional value. Shut up, Kadar.
I just said the same thing you said. They eating bullshit. So you ain't hear
But
that.
I see you. I don't know. I don't like the way your
So
face
look,
looking today.
I said the same
I'm
thing.
offended by this
couple
tone
more-
of conversation.
We had a minute.
I
We
don't
had a
like
minute,
Look,
y'all. We had a minute for the
we got a couple of more minutes, and I'm gonna finish this story.
got
And
one.
We don't have a couple.
I'm just
we
telling
got a minute. So anyway,
Okay.
she acting a fool up in there, yelling at the little girl and all that. So we like, you can't talk to her like that. The way she was talking to her, we had to call the police on her. And the little girl was 5 years old. She wasn't even doing nothing bad. So as soon as we called the police, she got quiet as fuck. Y'all don't understand what y'all doing. I might have a DCFS case against me already.